Shedding Shackles is sponsored by Roland Trujillo.
The great French philosopher Blaise Pascal put it this way when he said, "All of humanity's problems stem from a single cause, not knowing how to sit quietly in a room."
Welcome to Shedding Shackles. Today's topic is Step Away from Worry. And now, here's your Shedding Shackles host, Roland Trujillo.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. Today, I'm stopping by to talk to you about a blessed state of mind, one that you have perhaps tasted of in your life in little moments, and one that you were rather close to when you were a little tiny child before you became upset, and before a lot of things happened and you lost it. And I'm here to tell you that you have to re-find it, because having the blessed state of mind is the truly human way of existing. Anything short of that is, it's a fallen existence, but it's not a human existence. And you know that. You know that when you are calm and going about your work, maybe you have a job and you're working and you're calm, you're not a bad person. But when you get angry, then what? When you get upset, then what? And not so good. And some of you have experienced where you've ruined your life, basically, by ruining the relationship with your partner, with your kids. And maybe you had a little help in your anger from alcohol, for example, or drugs. And you had enablers, people around you who supported you and told you that you were a nice person and that it was everybody else's fault. It was your wife's fault, your husband's fault, the government's fault, somebody else's fault. And they convinced you to just do your own thing and to feel like you're entitled to do whatever you do and like that. Well, then what happened? Well, you end up experiencing reality, but you experience reality from having messed up. See, if you always had stayed in reality and you loved that reality and you wanted that reality, then you would have experienced something like the blessed state of mind, or at least something very close to it. You would have been at least close to it. But when you fall away from reality, you fall into, what's the word to use? Maybe an emotional state. You become angry. You become resentful. You cut yourself loose from reality. Now, how do you cut yourself loose? Well, you find a way of detaching yourself from reality and then becoming unreasonable and rude and mean and hateful. That's what happens. And of course, alcohol helps you detach from reality, and so does anger, and so does this sense of like you're being what's the word to use? Your rights are being infringed upon, and you puff up in self-righteous anger and resentment. And all of those things cut you away from reality. Well, but it could also happen, and it usually begins. It begins when you were a little child and people upset you. And upset cause you to fall away from the blessed state of mind. Now, in this blessed or close to this blessed state of mind, when you're calm and you're not upset and you're not angry and you're not resentful and you have good feelings, good thoughts toward people, you bear goodwill and you're not resentful, okay? Then from there are things that are accessible to you. Love, grace, patience, understanding, wisdom, common sense, peace of mind, joy, insights. See, all of those become available to you there, or can become available to you. But in order for them to be available to you, you have to be in reality where you can receive them. But when you cut yourself off from them, or when you are cut off from them by becoming very emotional and upset, or angry, or you take drugs, or you drink a lot of alcohol, or smoke a lot of marijuana, or whatever you do, then you fall away from that source, and then you fall into thinking, daydreams, worries, doubts, fears, and various emotions that rise up, and impulses that rise up, and also another source of guidance. See, when you're close to this, to reality, you're close to a blessed state of mind where you have wisdom and patience and understanding, and all of those good things come to you from there, and peace of mind. And you function from those. You function from wisdom, from understanding, from common sense, from patience, you see? But when you fall away from that source, the source of patience and love and understanding and courage and kindness and insight and all of that, when you fall away from that, then you fall down into a lower state of mind where you become subject to outside influences. Like when you're hypnotized and the hypnotist hypnotizes you, and you do what the hypnotist says. You see, and often you don't even know that you're hypnotized, and afterwards you don't even know you were hypnotized, and you don't know why you did what you did. You make some excuse for what you did. But see, it goes beyond just a simple. It's not a Las Vegas act or a nightclub act. It in real life, when you fall into this lower state of mind, then you become subject to outside influences. And before long, you start expressing these outside influences. And then things don't work out so good.
You're listening to Shedding Shackles with Roland Trujillo, Christian stress management on the radio for over 34 years.
Give us a call at 510-455-8851. That's 510-455-8851.
Welcome back. And now, here's Roland.
So there's only one way for you to find this higher, blessed state of mind and to be able to express wisdom and patience and understanding and courage and love and all the good things that you can express. And when you express them, you also feel them yourself. The only way is for you to want it, to want reality, to want the truth. See, to want to know the truth. You would like to know the truth. You would like to be a better person, not to impress anybody, but simply because you're sick and tired of seeing yourself screaming at your kids and ranting at your husband and being angry at your wife and like that. You want to be a better person. And you want, see, something good and something pure and something innocent. You want it, and you would like to be, calm. So you can be a better mom, dad, parent, partner. And it's sincere. You really want to. Not because you want to impress somebody, not because you're afraid of losing some perks, not because you're trying to get somebody from something from somebody, not for advantage, but simply because you want to be a better person. And that wanting, and you would like to be a better person. See, that's very beautiful. And you know that you're not, but you would like to be. See? And you stop blaming other people and hating them and accusing them and making life miserable for them. You just simply would like to know the truth and honor the truth. And let the truth purge you of all of your lies and pretense. And see, the more you go down into your self-righteous, resentful angers and resentments, and like that, you know that down there, it gets darker and darker. You know that. So you want to find the bright side and live in the sunshine of God's love. That's where you would like to be, in the sunshine of God's love. But you have to be willing to give up a couple of things. And you don't need to give them up first because God has to help you with it. But you have to want to or be willing to let go of your resentments toward people and let go of what shall we call it? Pride? See, it's so ugly. The pride is such an ugly thing that it's nothing to be proud of. See, it's quite the paradox. A person who is prideful and unreasonable and self-righteous and uncooperative, see, and angry and vindictive. Oh, that pride is so ugly. And they're so ugly, and at some level they sense that they're ugly. All right. It's an ugly thing, pride. It's nothing to be proud of. So you have to want to know the truth and admit the truth and accept the truth. And that will mean giving up the pride and the resentments and the angers and the grudges and all that stuff. And God will help you with that. But there has to be that want to. You have to want to. You would like to. Let's put it that way. So I think I've made my point here that this higher state exists, this blessed state of mind, this heavenly state of mind, and it's something that you need to find, and you need to live there. And people on the outside can't help you find it. And all the books that you read and all the things that you watch, okay, maybe they're nice, and they're helpful to some extent. But finding this blessed state of mind involves the soul itself and a sincere yearning for something good. And it's like a cry to God. It's like a silent cry to God. Not to save your pride, but to be there so that you can shed a tear and admit a couple of things. Well, you don't have to apologize to people to get started. You have to simply be sorry, that's all. In fact, you don't even need any words. Just in your heart, be sorry and see that you sometimes are out of control and that you are mean to people and that you say cruel things and vicious things and false things and things that are designed to tease them and to goad them. Just see that. See it and regret what you see. There you go. That's another way of putting it. All right. Maybe right now you somehow can't want to be a better person, or you can't want something good and sweet and pure. But you can regret what you see about yourself. Or maybe that would be a good start. And don't try to do anything about it. You've always tried to fix yourself. You've tried to make yourself better. And you've compensated in many ways. Instead, when you see your own wrong, when you see something wrong about yourself, just see it and regret what you see. That's all. and go about your life. Do your duty as best you can. If you're a mom, then be a mom or be a dad. At work, do your job. Don't expect gratitude. Do your duty. And to the extent that you can be honest, fair, brave, and kind with people, and to the extent that you can hold your tongue when you're about to say something mean, just don't say it. When you're about to do something cruel or false, something designed to goad someone, then just don't do it. Instead, just do your work and wait upon God. Wait for Him. Wait for God to answer. Wait forever if you have to. You need Him. And regret what you see about yourself. And if you can, want to know the truth. And just in your heart, just you kind of say, it's not a verbal thing, but you just kind of say non-verbally, I would like to know the truth. And if the truth shines and I see the truth, then I'll admit it. See, even if it makes me feel a little bit bad, I'll admit it. And I'll regret it if I need to in my heart.
Roland will be right back after this short announcement.
Hi, my name is Andrew. You're listening to Shedding Shackles with your host, Roland Trujillo. Roland brings old-time religion to life as he talks about repentance and turning back to God. Roland makes a new program every week just for the radio listener. So be sure to take advantage of this special resource. Roland wants you to know that Shedding Shackles is easy to find at your favorite podcast place. Roland says that since his program is only on the radio once or twice a week, you really should check out the podcast so you can listen again. Thanks and blessings.
Did you know that Roland has written over 20 books on the beauty of the spiritual walk and about healing relationships? So, if you like Roland's radio show, then you will definitely want to check out his informative books, one of which is sure to help you with your spiritual walk and loving relationships.
The great French philosopher Blaise Pascal put it this way when he said, all of humanity's problems stem from a single cause, not knowing how to sit quietly in a room. Welcome back, everyone. In this program, I'm introducing you to a little biofeedback exercise called hand warming, which is very simple, and it has benefits that you can enjoy right away. It helps to calm you down and shows you that you can have some control over your own body. And so let's continue then with the discussion. It's an important one because Americans are under stress. I want to show you how to remain the same, remain unchanged, regardless of the stresses. So here we go. The basic hand-warming exercise, which I direct you to, it's at my website, sheddingshackles.com. Sheddingshackles.com. I want you to go there and get it. You can download it, and I want you to give it a try. I want you to use it, because here's why. Let's say that you learn how to sit quietly in a room, as Pascal said. But see, I'm adding an extra dimension to it. He got part of it. But the other part is you have to learn how to sit quietly in a room without being lost in thoughts, without being lost in worries and doubts and fears and rethinking the past, or lost in fantasy to escape from reality. See, you can sit in a room and have awareness. You're aware of the birds singing outside. You're aware of the wind in the trees. You're aware of the changing patterns of light around you as light filters through your window. You're aware of yourself, aware of your hands and your body as you're sitting there. You're very aware of the now. As you're sitting quietly, you notice your hand. You become very aware of your hand. Let's pick one. How about your right hand? Let's say your right hand. And you become aware of your hand, and it starts to tingle a little bit as you're aware of it. When you're aware of your hand, when you're giving your attention to it, when you notice it, when you're conscious of your hand, it begins to tingle a little bit. It's like a delicate glow. You know, if you direct your love towards someone and they notice it and they smile and they glow like little children glow, well, your hand glows. Your hand becomes a little warm and a gentle, delicate, tingly feeling. It's very cozy. It's very comfortable. It's very pleasant because of your attention to it. So you notice your hand. You could notice one finger at a time. It helps you to be aware of your hand. It helps you to be conscious, very conscious of your hand with the help of noticing one finger at a time. So let's say your thumb. You're sitting there quietly in your room and you notice your thumb. You feel your thumb. You can feel your awareness of the thumb as it tingles a little bit. You notice the tip of your thumb. Let's direct your attention to the tip of your thumb, and it tingles a little bit. And now direct your attention to your first finger. Notice your fingertip, and as you notice it, it begins to tingle a little bit. And now notice your second finger. As you are very conscious of your second finger, it begins to tingle a little bit. And you can go from finger to finger, one at a time, to help you remain conscious of your hand. And then you can be aware of your whole hand as it tingles a little bit and feels a little bit warm. Well, that's the exercise. And because it's biofeedback, within a very short amount of time, you get very good at becoming aware of your hand so that it tingles a little bit, feels cozy, tingly, warm. It's like a little buzz, and very pleasant.
Find him and believe him. The Shedding Shackles Minute. I'm Jeremiah Trujillo. There are things that block us from finding him. Those things that stress us tend to pull us down from the state of mind where we can realize truth and be close to it, and not doubt it. One of the things that interferes is emotion. When you have a day when extra work is dumped on you, the kids are having issues, the car needs a repair, and you know how that interferes with your Christian walk. You forget about the sweet things you hear on Sunday morning. When you get pulled down, you get emotional, and the emotions hold you there. Find more inspiration for your day at sheddingshackles.com.
So now you can understand why I am always talking about the little exercise that I have. As you're aware of your hand, you're in the present, and you're not lost in your thoughts. When you're noticing your hand, you're not lost in thoughts. Do you see that? You're in the present. You can hear the birds singing outside, or the computer hum, or the sound of traffic going by. You're in the present moment. And when you're in the present and you're not lost in thoughts, you have access to your intuition. You have access to common sense. It's when you get lost in your thoughts and in emotions that you lose track of your intuition. A good example is if you get angry. When you get angry, see, you get the emotion pulls you down into the emotion and wrong ideas, and then you do things and say things that later you wish you hadn't. But if you can be aware of your hands, or aware of your hand, Notice your hand so that it begins to tingle a little bit. It keeps you in the present, and it gives you perspective. So then when an idea approaches, you don't immediately follow it. You don't get lost in it. You don't get pulled into it. And if it's not a good idea, you are not seduced by it because you have perception, you have intuition, you have common sense. Those are all available when you're not lost in your thoughts. So it's not that it's wrong to think, but thinking should flow from understanding. It should flow from wisdom. It should flow from common sense. It should flow from what you know in your heart is right. See, you have intuition. You have access to it, and it keeps you from following a wrong idea. Or you might go along with it for just a little while, but then you see that it's not a good idea. But once you get pulled into the idea and down there and start following it, then you lose your intuition, you lose your common sense, you lose your perspective. And so that's not good. So that's why I urge you to try little hand-warming exercise that I've made, because it could definitely help you to not get so lost in ideas that you don't know the source of. You don't know where they come from, and you're not sure whether they're good or not. And even if they are good, without common sense, you don't know how to apply them properly and with the right timing. So it's very, very simple. And unless you get your common sense back, your intuition back, your perspective back, and know how to hang on to it. See, that's why the hand-warming exercise is good, or the simple little meditation I have is good, because they teach you how to hang on to it. Then the little exercises that I have are totally free. You could get them at sheddingshackles.com. Until next time, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.
You have been listening to Shedding Shackles with your host, Roland Trujillo. Now you can listen to Roland anytime by logging on to www.sheddingshackles.com. You'll find lots of free, helpful information, and you can also order materials or make a donation by using your credit card. Once again, the web address is sheddingshackles.com. Please remember that Shedding Shackles is listener supported. Thank you.
Shedding Shackles is sponsored by Roland Trujillo.